Welcome to my first Satisfactory video, where I'm going to go over how I made my first crude oil power plant using the packaged diluted fuel alternate recipe. This recipe is amazing because it doubles the amount of fuel that you get from heavy oil residue, so that's a lot more power in the mid game when you're just getting started with oil. So here is the entire setup. You can see we have 15 refineries and 3 water pumps. And along with that, you also need 10 packagers. And finally, on this west side of the map here, we have pure nodes of crude oil. So here's the oil extractor, which is giving us 300 cubic meters of crude oil with 125% overclock. And that's the max capacity of a Mark 1 pipe. So all of this crude oil then travels using this pipe into our first set of 10 refineries. Now, this is the starting of oil for you and for me. So, we are going to need a lot of plastic and rubber. So, that is why we need 10 refineries, 5 of them processing plastic, 5 of them processing rubber. So, these left ones here, they are for plastic. And it produces 20 plastic per minute along with 10 cubic meters of heavy oil residue. So 5 in total, which gives us 50 heavy oil residue. And these 5 refineries on the right side, they give us 20 heavy oil residue per minute. So that's 100 along with also 20 rubber per refinery. So that's 100 plastic, 100 rubber along with 150 heavy oil residue produced per minute. The heavy oil residue is in the pipes below here, and the plastic and the rubber, they go on top of this manifold line. And yeah, from there, they're just transported all the way down here, where I'm using a smart splitter to basically store them in 2 different containers. And all of the rest, the overflow that we have here, they can just go into an awesome sink. So basically that's 100 plastic and rubber. Now for the heavy oil residue, 150 per minute, it gets evenly divided into 5 of these refineries, the fuel refineries. So these refineries are doing as I told you, the diluted packaged fuel recipe. It takes 60 cubic meters of water along with 30 cubic meters of heavy oil residue to give us 60 cubic meters of fuel. So we have doubled the amount of fuel which was given to us by the heavy oil residue, which is pretty awesome. If we look at the other recipes for fuel, then if we convert crude oil directly into fuel, 300 crude oil would give us 200 fuel, so that's less than what we are producing. And in this case, the residual fuel, 150, would only give us 100 fuel. And the fuel generators, each one of them consumes 20 cubic meters of fuel per minute. So yeah, for now, as we are producing 300 cubic meters of fuel, that's 15 generators in total, but you have to adjust accordingly. So this process starts with the packagers. We have 5 of them to package water. You need 300 cubic meters of water in total, which is supplied using these 3 pumps here. 2 of them running at full speed, and the one in the middle is just producing 60. So that's 300 cubic meters of water, and now that I think about it, I should have set all of them to 100. Anyways, water is equally divided in the central pipeline, which is connected to all 5 of the packagers, and these also need empty canisters in order to function. So 60 cubic meters of water with 60 empty canisters gives us 60 packaged water. And yeah, 5 of them in total, so 300 packaged water per minute, and also have a buffer in the middle in case you want to expand this system in the future. Next up, this output of packaged water then goes on a manifold line, which goes all the way here and then gets equally divided into the 5 fuel refineries. So each refinery will take 60 packaged water along with 30 cubic meters of heavy oil residue and give us 60 packaged fuel per minute. So the output of the refinery, of course, it's on the front side, and it is the same for the entire 5 refinery setup here. So we take the output here and then put it into another packager, but this time the recipe is going to be unpackaged. So unpackaged fuel 60 per minute will give us 60 fuel per minute with 60 empty canisters. Now the good thing is that the fuel output is on the top here, so that's a bit of head lift that is provided by the packagers, and the empty canisters can then just go back on this manifold line and get deposited into the buffer, which will help you in expanding your system if you want to do that. So yeah, that's the canister system. And finally, with all of the 300 packaged, sorry, not packaged, the 300 fuel that we are producing, that gets divided into a central line of fuel and equally into 15 of the fuel generators, because each generator takes 20 cubic meters of fuel. 50 times 20, that gives us 300 fuel, perfectly divided. If you want, you can just have 14 of these, and the remaining can be the packaged fuel for the jetpacks and vehicles and stuff. However, I'm just producing power out of all of this, and that's 3750 megawatts in total. So yeah, this recipe is pretty good, along with giving you plastic and rubber. Now this rubber, it is going forward, and it then gets merged into the computer line. So I am producing 10 computers per minute using the Caterium computer recipe, and that does require rubber. So yeah, you are going to need plastic and rubber for many recipes. So make sure that the first thing you build, you are not just producing fuel out of it, you are producing a lot of plastic and rubber, which will help you in production, and then you can just focus on purely fuel. Now, before I end this video, I also want to go over the coal power plant, which is the first way of producing power completely automated, which you are going to unlock in the game. Now, this setup is actually very standard. However, as this video is focused for players who are going to be playing Satisfactory for the first time, this is how the standard coal setup would kind of look like. So we have 8 coal generators, and 8 of these require a total of 120 coals per minute, because each generator requires 15 coal per minute in order to run. So I have Mark II miners overclocked to 200%, so that's 240 coal per minute on each of these lines, and all of the logistics that's done underground here. So the 240 then gets divided into two parts. So that's 120, 120, and 120 then gets divided into 8 parts, which is 15 coal per minute for each generator, which then travels up using the conveyor lifts. And the same goes for this line of 120, which once again will get divided into 8 parts. So that's pretty neat, pretty standard setup. And in order to provide water, I have 4 water pumps, each running at 75% clock speed. So that's 90 cubic meters of water per minute, which is enough to run 2 of the generators. And yeah, that is how you can run 8 generators. 8 of these will produce 600 megawatts. So I have total 32 generators, which are producing 2400 megawatts, which is more than enough to get you through the early game. And yeah, by that time you should be able to reach goal easily. I didn't really have any issue, because I was playing at a pretty chill pace, not producing a lot of items. So yeah, that's the first generator setup that you will be able to do. And this is my Satisfactory Pearl. I hope you guys like this video. It is my first one, so make sure to leave a review, like what you think of it, and also what is the next video if you want to see a Satisfactory video, what it should be about. I have factories made, so I can make a video for that. Anyways, I am going to see you guys in the next one. Till then, peace out and stay safe, my dudes.